I'm gonna fire. We might take a few of our own down, but don't worry about it, boys. Don't worry. Brace for impact.
Fuses on 3 seconds.
Yeah, they're actually really good. They're really good.
Battle Cry of Freedom's Age of Napoleon mod will be coming out this Sunday, and I, for one, cannot wait for it. It's going to be completely free if you own Battle Cry of Freedom already, and will be integrated straight into the game itself, so no extra downloads, just straight on Steam. It's so exciting, and I got the chance to play it a little bit early. The devs invited me to hop onto a server with them and ask as many questions as I wanted and record whatever I want. So I thought, hey, let's put together a video of everything that I've been told about the mod, everything I experienced. And also, if you head over to the FPS channel with the link in the description, you can see complete gameplay without my annoying chattering over it if you just want to get some of the coolest features of this mod. So without further ado, let's take a look at Age of Napoleon. First of all, this is made by Flying Squirrel Entertainment, the developers of the Napoleonic Wars DLC for Mount and Blade Warband. We had many spin-offs for Mount and Blade Warband's Napoleonic Wars DLC, such as Holdfast Nations at War, but it didn't quite capture the hearts of all the clans that were a big fan of that DLC. However, Battle Cry of Freedom was another standalone that came from our mod for Warband, and they decided that they'd also make a Napoleonic Wars mod for it. Okay, so we've got Napoleonic Wars. It's made by the same people that made the legendary NW DLC for Warband. It's going to be great, right? Well, so far it's looking that way. First of all, look at the uniforms. They look goddamn gorgeous. I play as the British, but you can see we have the Black Watch, we have Foot Guards, we have the 95th Rifleman playing as Sharp. It's brilliant. We have rocket artillery as well as regular artillery. If you press B, you can look down the sights and get a better angle. Things like rocket barrages that are on the floor and rocket artillery also have a dial to show you which angle you should be shooting at, but of course that's going to take a lot of communication between you and your teammates. Rocket artillery, though, for me, is a lot of fun. It was always a big thing in the NW DLC and often was never really used because of how inaccurate it is, and to the point where you would just be shooting teammates. But my god, the sound design in this is amazing. Musicians can once again be selected. Whether you want to play as the fife, a drummer, or just a flag bearer, you can do so. You can press J to open up your musician's music list and play anything from A Beautiful Symphony, The British Grenadiers, to Rule Britannia. Clicking the bottom left, Play in Sync, you're able to sync up with any other musicians in the vicinity, and you can play some incredible show-stopping tunes. The buildings within the mod have destruction as well. Now, it isn't full destruction, it is pretty modular. However, I think it's done pretty well, especially as the base game doesn't really focus too much on this aspect. Anything from bricks to walls can be destroyed in certain places. Windows can be blown open and doors can be blown off their hinges. There's also levels to the destruction where one hit might not completely break through a wall but might just shatter certain points of it, and another hit might blast a big hole in said structure. Fences can also be blown to pieces as well to make room for artillery or lines if they're wanting to advance to a certain position. Trees can be felled, and be careful because a falling tree will crush your troops or you if you're not careful. And furthermore, wooden structures like outhouses can be blown to pieces as well. What I got to play here is the Waterloo map with La Haye-Sainte and Hougoumont, the two farmhouses from that famous battle in Brussels in June of 1815. A fantastic recreation. Of course, it's not one-to-one scale because this is still a game and it still needs to be fun. Walking 3 hours to get across the map is not fun, but the map is very, very big. And I've been told that the servers can handle up to 500 players at once without too many issues. And the maps really indicate this. You can see Formula Haystein, Hougoumont in the distance, and it looks miles away. But this is all one big map that can be played with these Napoleonic Wars line battles with clans going up against each other. But what if you don't have enough real people? Well, I got to play some of the Commander Battle as well. It's much like Commander Battle that we've seen in Mount and Blade before, or in the base game Battle Cry of Freedom, having a set squad of AI that will follow your orders, changing their formations to 1 line, 2 line, 3 lines if you want to do ranked fire, firing the first rank, then the second, then the third. If you time it correctly, you can even get continuous fire going.
Fire! 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 Fire!
Being able to form into columns is also incredibly satisfying, and of course charging the enemy with bayonets or fists if that's more your thing. You can also set the musicians in your line to play while your guys are holding fire, so you can create some musical orders if that's what you want to do. Not only are these custom maps within the game itself, but they are also available to anybody playing it. If you load up Battle Cry of Freedom and the Age of Napoleon mod, there is actually a custom map builder built into the modern game itself, so anybody can have their hand on it. It's way more intuitive than anything that we had in Mount and Blade Warband. The messing around with files and the really iffy controls for that was terrible to try and make maps on, but this, I've been told, is much more efficient and much better for creating your own maps. And maybe you want to create a training ground for your regiment, or maybe you even want to recreate some battles from the Napoleonic Wars or other time eras and just bring them and play them as NW. The mod will be releasing with the British and the French, but I've been told that there are many, many more on their way, and there are a few little secrets that I'm not really allowed to give out at the moment. But as I was playing, I noticed a couple of secret tabs of troops that weren't necessarily to do with just the Napoleonic Wars, which is very, very exciting. Artillery makes a big impact within this. I've already mentioned the sound design is amazing, but the AI in the commander battles for artillery is really well done. When I was playing Battle Cry of Freedom before, you'd have to ram the barrel of the gun, pick the ammo you want, load it in, ram it again, then prime, and then fire. But now with Commander Battle in Age of Napoleon, the AI can do this for you. They will ram the gun to clear any embers. You then choose what ammo you want, put it in, but then they will do the rest. They will ram the ammo in, they'll then prime the gun, and all you have to do is shoot. It makes it incredibly efficient and incredibly fun to play. All in all, it is incredibly promising, and thank you so much to the devs for letting me come on and try out a little bit of the game. Once again, head over to the FPS channel if you want to see some just raw gameplay of me messing about with these guys. And furthermore, I have a bit of an announcement. I will be launching my own server within this Napoleonic Wars mod. It will be called Resonant Official, and it will be on Age of Napoleon. I will have a private and a public one. The public one will be available to absolutely anyone. Come around, we'll have some custom maps, we'll have a lot of fun. We might do some public events, things like that, weekly, maybe bi-weekly, depending on how I'm feeling. But I will also have a private one for a regiment I am setting up to go to line battles and to host line battles. That, however, will be a bit more on the down low, as it won't be available to everybody, at least not to start with. But make sure you stick around the channel for that kind of stuff and that kind of update. Battle Cry of Freedom is a very, very good game, and I think Age of Napoleon being integrated straight into it, I mean, it blows it out of the water in terms of content and value for money. You don't have to pay anything else for this Napoleonic Wars DLC, and I think it's probably going to become one of the big factors and the main selling points for this game in general. There will be a lot of big custom servers, and Resonant Official is going to be one of them. So if you guys want to support the channel and you have Battle Cry of Freedom, hop on the server, say hello. It'll probably be up within the next few days if you're watching this on release. But until then, I will see you in the next one.